please find your space. Firstly, some things that will help you find the ultimate space for this practice is if you got a spare device, electronic device that can play music. I have a cool Spotify playlist you can put on. My Spotify name is Jacob Mellish without any spaces. And the playlist is called Monday Night Yoga Tunes. And it's just a little bit more casual, chilled out music. But if you want to put on your own thing, do your own thing. And then one more thing for this evening's slower, more chilled out practice is find yourself the best yoga prop, which is a wall. It creates the best, yeah. If you have one, no stress. If you don't have one, you could use like a corner of a couch, or you don't even need, as we get into the practice, I'll give you a whole bunch of modifications that you can use if you don't have what's necessary, or what I'm saying. Hopefully you have what's necessary. Some other things, a pillow, a blanket. If you got one of these pillows, they're called a bolster, they can be great. A block if you got one. These are just optional things that might help you as we get into the class to support you. A little stool maybe. If you have a little stool, you can bring it by. I said this is a chilled practice, but I mean, it's a slow practice. This class is really how intense you want it to be. I said this last week, but I'm going to really focus on trying to allow this to be a very meditative experience. And so often I feel, me personally, and I think it's just a thing that we as humans have, is to try and fill space, especially when you're holding space. But if I fill the space up with words and I tell you what to do the whole time, there's no space for you to really explore what's going on in your body or in the space that we're creating together. So I'm going to talk as little as possible in this practice. And when I'm not talking, I really want you to do your best to stay in the space, stay in your body, stay in the moment, and do your best not to let your mind wander. This is a practice of a physical practice that we do in here. It's got mental benefits. It's got so many other benefits, but try to keep your attention in your body, in sensation. And the best way that we can do this is through the awareness of your breath. If you're able to focus on the sensations of your breath, your attention will be so much stronger. So find a comfortable seated position, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, and present yourself with the sense of confidence, right? Body language, I think, is one of the strongest ways of communication. And yoga is so much about posture and how we present ourselves in space. So just sitting up tall can give you a lot of information. Allow the knees to soften. There is this energy of trying to sit up a little taller. And completely relax your face. Seal down your lips. And use this first minute of the practice to keep your eyes closed, even if you want to peek. And that tendency to want to kind of open your eyes is a distraction from entering this internal space in your body. And so is my voice. So 2 minutes of arriving, of being before we do. As a little tool to help keep you in this exercise, when you inhale, say in your mind just, and as you exhale, say in your mind breathe. Super simple, just inhale, exhale, breathe. And find your most natural, unmanipulated breath. I'm not trying to change anything in your body, in your mind, in your awareness, but rather noticing all what's going on here. Where are you holding tension physically? Your shoulders, your fingers, your jaw. Enjoy 5 more breaths to yourself. And breathe in a way that's changing your breath. A little longer, a little slower. Let it feel a little bit more smooth. And take the longest inhale you possibly can. Hold the breath full. Exhale all the air out of your body. Soften the shoulders. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Keep your lips sealed. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 6. Super simple. Breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 8. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 10. And try follow this pattern until you found a sweet spot of breathing as slowly as you can without getting stressed out. Just take 2 more breaths. Now I want you to think of your breath as a circle. It doesn't stop from inhale to exhale. The inhale is half a circle and the exhale is the other half. As you inhale, move your chest to the right and forward. You can arch, you can even back bend into your spine a little, and then as you exhale, to the left and back. So now the body is starting to completely synchronize to movements in just a really feel good, intuitive way. And try to keep it nice and slow, the movements. Therefore, the breath is slow. And you almost have this chance to imagine slowing down time. Feeling every part of the movement without rushing ahead. Close your eyes. Just try 3 more breaths with as much of this meditative flow as you can bring. Inhaling forward, arch, stick your butt out, your shoulders back. Exhale, belly in, chin in, shoulders to ears, round. Enjoy changing direction. And I really do feel like with this intuitive movement, you close your eyes, and the weirder you get with it, the better it feels. Getting the neck involved, pulling some funny faces, getting your jaw involved. It really, really does work. Wiggle the bottom jaw as you move, and you can just start to feel this full connection of your body and how it's completely connected to each other from the feet to the face. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Stay with this meditation, this breath to movement connection. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart. It's really slow. Do that 2 more times. Connecting breath to movement. Circle arms, rise. Enjoy the inhalation and exhale to the heart. Just a couple more simple movements. Inhale, reach up your arms. This time, twist to your right. There's no right or wrong. Right hand behind you, left hand, right knee, or left hand, left knee. See what works better. Inhale, bring it up to center. And then as you exhale, you take it over to the other side. Left fingers behind you, right hand on left knee. Make it your own. We're just warming up. Let go of any rules. Just move. Feel good through movement. Inhale, center, reach and rise your arms. Stretch nice and tall, so the shoulders, they creep up, the ribs draw in. As you exhale, release your right hand down, bend the right elbow, and then it should feel super nice to side stretch your left arm over. Maybe the right elbow even connects down, but no worries at all if it doesn't. Just feel good as you expand your breath into your left side body. Inhale, bring it up to center, reach your arms. Exhale, the left arm goes down and the right arm side stretches over. Enjoy as much as you can. See if you can feel how each breath has this chance to exaggerate sensation within the posture, the stretch. Come slowly to center. Cow pose, inhale, lift chin, arch spine. Exaggerate sticking your butt out, your chin, your chest. And then exhale, opposite, cat stretch. Shoulders to ears, ribs and belly in. Try that just one more time. And then exhale completely. And the movement, keep it going. Place the hands down to the floor. Inhale, come into a cow position. Arch your spine, tilt your tailbone out, lift the chin. And then exhale, cat stretch. And try that 3 more times. I don't know why, but since I've never shared this information, but since starting to teach yoga, I've always found cat-cows just such a funny movement, right? Exhale, cat, but it's so good, so healthy for your spine, and it's so accessible. There's no risk. It's just opening spinal movements. Exhale, cat stretch. What I prefer actually is if you push back into child's pose and you get a little bit of that circular motion going. So move the shoulders as far to the right as you can. Push the hands down into the floor and then come up to cow, but through the circular action. And then move over to the left. Pull the belly in, push the floor away. Tuck the chin in and just push back into child's pose. Try that 3 more times as you inhale to the right, forward, and your hips do this big circle as you arch in your spine. Keep it going to the left. Exhale. This is a really nice time for me to stop talking and for you to actually listen to your breath. Maybe even your heartbeat. Tuck the toes behind you. Lift your hips up to the sky for down dog. You can pedal the feet, so you're almost hovering one foot, bending the opposite knee, swinging the hips a little side to side. I'm going to give you 5 breath cycles. See if you can come back to that fluidity, or that circular fashion of breathing slowly and deeply through each breath. Maintaining this consistency of air pressure to bring about the most kind of flow within your practice, within the way you're breathing, moving. Hover the right hand. And move it just a little baby handprint back. Hover the left hand. A little baby handprint back. Keep going back until you start to feel the weight in the feet. See if you can bend the knees and lift up all 10 toes. On a long inhale, find the most extended position of your spine. It's known as Ardha Uttanasana, or halfway lift. How much space can you create from head to tailbone? Literally. Exhale, fold into that space with as much softness and allow your breath to take you there. Let's try that one more time. Huge inhale. Exhale. We're going to have a little bit of a friendly competition just so that you can find your edge. And that's how long can you exhale through a hum, whilst keeping your head relaxed, your shoulders relaxed, your jaw relaxed. So dangle the head. If you have some support, then use it. Take a big inhale. And then hum. Again. Full exhalation as long as you possibly can. Hum it out. Yeah, keep going, keep going. I know it's intense. Relax the head and hum as long as you can. Stay with it. As you finish off that hum, breathe deeply in and out of your nose. Relax the upper back, the chin to the chest, and slowly, way slower than you want to go, start to roll up to a neutral standing position. The head lifts up last. And hopefully you can just feel the positive impact that humming had in stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, your ability to relax and connect. Any little intuitive movements like a shoulder loop, a neck stretch should feel quite wonderful. Warm welcome to you, Caroline. I'm just noticing you here now. You're in the sky with us today. That looks cool. You guys will notice that I've just positioned my yoga prop or pillow by the wall space. You don't, again, have to have a wall space. It will help. But I'm thinking you guys could even see this here. I've got like a piece of glass. And even that would be enough for some support. So I'll show you where we're going and what we're doing, and then you can decide what's going to be the most appropriate thing for you. You come about 1/2 meter away from your object, fingers to the floor. You step the right foot into the wall, and then you lower the right knee, ideally flush with the wall. So you can see here, there's no gap between my knee and the wall, but this exercise can be super duper intense. So if you need a gap for a little less, then take as much of a gap you need. Maybe not even using the wall. Okay, just so you can see from the side, again, if this was my object, the knee goes down and it just holds the foot up in this flexion. I know you can't see my foot perfectly, but I'm sure you get a little idea. Lunge your right hip forward and down to the floor is the first step. And the fingers are in line with the left toes, and your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your body just works quite nicely in proportion. Place the left hand on the left inner knee, gently guide it out. Be very careful. Be very slow. Maybe there's not much movement at all. That's okay. Keep your right hip lunging heavy. Is that a little bit hot there? Hey, Emma, you're burning your foot. Yeah, such a gentleman, Ollie. Walk the fingers slowly forward and down. And keep that right quad sinking heavy. And check that your jaw is relaxed, soft, and the breath is still smooth. And I'll show you from a side angle here. There's so often this tendency to kind of go down, but instead of aiming the head down, can you allow the body to be one long unit and line as you work the whole body down together, hips and chest as one unit. And so much about this practice that we're doing here is about noticing how, again, connected every part of your body is. Let's take 3 more breaths. Toe heel the left foot to the center of your yoga mat. This is where I think some of you guys laughed at me when I said maybe have a stool or something. But this is where actually having a stool would be really helpful. You could just like put one hand on the stool and then you have support and you don't have to cry in this position, but you can maybe try and enjoy it. And that's the idea. I know some of you might be like, Jacob, no, like I can't do this. I can't even enjoy this. But you can. You just got to let your ego go and find as much of a modification that works for you. So not go fully to the most intense, but find what that sweet spot for you. Lift your right hip bone, sink your left hip bone. Hands is parallel with the floor. Start to straighten the left leg. It doesn't have to go all the way straight. Imagine pushing your lower back and your upper back into the wall. For me, shortening the stance can really help with that. Okay, so tailbone into the wall, lower back into the wall. Breathe. You guys with me? Yeah, we're holding it for longer. So effective. Right hip up, left hip down. Ribs in. Lean back. Soften. Hook your thumbs now. And by all means, just stay where you are if you're feeling it. Otherwise, reach your arms up. Lunge the hips forward. Left knee moves forward. Left knee moves forward. Chin lifts up. Maybe you touch the wall behind you with your hands. The head behind you with your hands. Just take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And caress the wall behind you. Drop the head back if it feels good. Whoa. Gently release. Begin to straighten into the left leg with the fingers down to the floor. Again, find that extension and length in your spine and gently play with the pinky toe moving towards the ground and the big toe moving towards the ground. And it's on fire. Hey. I feel you can just come into a regular lunge whilst you're waiting for it without the foot pushing into the wall. Okay, right hand grounds, left hand, last little push here. Left hand, inner left thigh. Heart rotates open to the sky. Maybe you can reach the left fingers into the wall to help this action of lifting your heart up to the sky and sinking your right quad down more. There we go. Gently release left hand. I said last motion, but this is the last one. Left arm underneath right armpit. You thread the needle to bring the left shoulder down towards the ground. And then release. Embrace this new rush of blood into your leg through any little intuitive movements. Definitely breathe a whole lot more deeper, more depth into your breath. Down dog is a really nice way to see the effects of the position in your body. Maybe a slightly wider length down dog so you can feel the hips, the difference on your right and your left side. Forward fold, same thing, and pedal the feet. Check the left and the right side, the difference. Keep breathing fully. And hopefully most of us are right side dominants. So that was the hard side that we just did for most of us. Left knee into the wall. One of the harder parts I didn't mention before, in case you felt like, damn, I can't even get into the wall. One of the hard parts is actually getting into the position. Once you're in, I wouldn't say it's easier, but then you can kind of decide how much stress you want to give yourself. And that's really is the yoga practice, stress management. You're in control of your body, your mind. How much stress can you put yourself under and to create growth, strength, but how mindful and relaxed, and how much can you practice non-judgment to yourself as you move into all of these things? Okay, hands under shoulders, right toes in line with fingers. Left quad lunges heavy down. And fingers can slowly creep forward, but not getting the head down. It's hips lunging down, heart reaching forward. Yeah, it's called lizard pose. You can push the back foot a little into the wall for a little bit more active engagement, especially if you are more flexible over strong. Bring more balance in your body. So your right foot to the center. Place right hand on the thigh, left hand on the thigh. And again, I mentioned it before, if you had like some prop, a chair would be really nice, a little stool. You can just have it there, use it, and then you'll be able to pull your body into the correct alignment, which is your pants level with the ground. You're not sticking your butt out, your ribs out, but one thing that might help you get this the best is to focus on the left knee, and then imagine from the left knee to the left hip, from the left hip to the ribs, to the chest, to the top of the head. You're trying to reach up. So how high can you get through the crown of your head? Relax your jaw. Smiles are usually pretty good for doing that. Especially when you put yourself into such a stressful position and start taking things really seriously. The body starts to hold on and just soften. Give yourself a little shake out. See that you can move the fingers, wiggle the jaw. And somewhat straighten the front leg. Push the lower back towards the wall. Push the upper back towards the wall. And some of you, this might be like, oh no. After a couple times, you can actually really grow to enjoy this. And if I had to give you all one posture, probably this posture out of any postures, positions. And this is actually, using the wall like this isn't necessarily traditional yoga, but I'm hoping to just help you find your most balanced version of yourself and your body. Because we sit a lot, we get really tight here. So in order to bring balance, we need to stretch that. unless you're sitting in Malasana all day, yoga squat. B, lift your left hip bone up. More. A little more. Perfect. And then try push your lower back a little closer to the wall. Nice, Barbara, you got it. Okay. Lunge into the front knee. Hook the thumbs. Lift the chin. Lift the chest. And you can lean on the wall, stroke the wall. Friends, or stay where you are. That's it, Winnie. So nice. Winnie, you can even try hands down and then push back into the wall like, yeah, if you can reach there. Oh, yes. And then hips forward. Heart open. Feeling that fire in the thigh. Embracing it. Straight in the right leg. I don't know why. I was actually in a really bad mood, feeling a little sick before this class, but now I can't stop smiling. Straight in the right leg. Doesn't have to straighten all the way. Bring the fingers down to the floor. Lengthen your spine. And turn your toes to the right, even if they don't go very far at all. To center. Big toe down. Second last one, lunge forward. Left hand down. Right arm opens out to the wall. Maybe you can reach, maybe you can't. If you can use that to pull the heart open. And we've been getting quite a few surfers joining class, and this is the pig dog style right here. Especially if you let the outer knee really fall out. But it's actually, in pig dog, you're more pulling on the left hand and leaning to the right hand. Not that you guys really care much. Bring the right hand down and come into a tabletop position. And cat-cow. Exaggerate the motion. Connect it with your breath. Okay, one of the next most effective positions I think that we can do as human beings is this toe stretch right here. Sit on your toes, all 10 of them. Make sure your pinky toes tucked underneath. If you find this agony already, bring the hands down to the floor, just out in front of you. We're going to be here a fair bit. And remember, it's stress management. So if you're actually starting to stress out, you're not managing your stress well enough. So less stress on the body, more relaxation on the mind. Ultimate is real stress in your body, pure calm, gentleness in your mind. And then the idea is that we can navigate, we can use these lessons and apply them into our life. We're stressed out. We stay with our peace. We keep our peace. Got another minute or so. Yeah, I hope that was the song you were looking at. Not, not a message. Because phones off. I've actually never said it But it's probably a good thing, and I'll start saying it like, this is your hour. Leave that phone alone. But I know, I'm like, we're all using the phone to be doing this class. Hey, don't get distracted because I'm saying something else. It's not the toes, thinking that you can get off the toes. Stay with it. It actually starts to get a bit emotional, doesn't it? Inhale, reach your arms up. Yeah, I was about to cry and then I was laughing and then, I don't know. Hands to the heart. Try this 3 more times. Inhale. You can even back bend. Exhale, 1 more like that, or interlace hands behind your back. Heart up, chin up, oof, chest up. Hands down. None of those movements this class have made me hot at all, except I'm sweating so much from just that last little toe stretch. We wear shoes all day. Shoes are like prisoners for our feet, so that can be super beneficial. Tuck the toes behind you. Come into your downward facing dog again. I've never really shared this really nice position either, and it's so hard to sometimes get a good calf stretch, right? Try this out. Lift your right foot up in your down dog. Keep both knees slightly bent. Place your right big toe and second big toe on the left heel, on the left, what do you call this thing just behind the heel, by the heel? Achilles tendon. Put the right toes on the Achilles tendon and then sink the left heel further down and you'll get a nice calf stretch. To the other side. Check how the breath can complement the position. Inhale, come forward nice and slowly into high plank. Lower the knees as wide as the outer edges of your mat and just sink back into good old child's pose. It's probably very likely that you've been here many times before, but see if you can treat it as if it was your first. I'm completely curious of what you're feeling in every space within your body, your toes, your lower back, your fingers, your jaw. Breathe slowly. Just take 5 more breaths. Come to a kneeling position, sink your hips to the side. You're gonna go single leg stretch, so the left heel comes somewhat right down by your sit bones, your groin. Right leg extends long. Bend the right knee, lift your chest, just a little. Now, if you have a prop, bring it out in front of you so you can just relax. You can think about the crease, the way you fold from your hips, rather than trying to get the head down. And I want you to focus on relaxation rather than trying to get somewhere here right now. As you relax, gently roll your right big toe down towards the floor. Really slow. Right big toe comes down. Come to center. And bring your right pinky toe to the right. Right pinky toe towards the floor. Try that one more time. Internal rotation of the leg. Center and external rotation. You got the next minutes to allow your body to soften. Let go of the weight of your head. Let go of tension in the upper back and the legs. And instead of trying to fight the stretch, just relax. This is a very different approach. And close your eyes. Just enjoy 5 more breaths. With your eyes closed, you can visualize the space where the sensation comes from, and imagine each breath creating this expansion of space. Come gently up to center. Squeeze the left knee into the chest. You can hug it. Sit up really tall. And stay here and take a casual little gentle twist over to your left. Or if you want a little more, you can just cross your right leg. Or your left leg over your right leg. Move the right elbow to the outer left thigh and then rotate. See again if you can feel the connection to breath and using breath to find space. Enjoy. Unravel and just take a little counter twist. Breathe momentarily, counter twist to the other side. And take your left leg out to the side. And bring the sole of the right foot into, or the heel of the foot, I think it's the perineum is the right word. Right heel. I'm not going to say that again, just in case I'm wrong. Lift and lengthen spine. Use the support as much as you need to. No. Pinky toe down to the floor. Keep really relaxed through these movements, so it's not like you're shaking to get the pinky toe down. And I actually find that the more softness you move into this, the more kind of intensity. Sometimes that fight creates too much tension to actually find your end range of motion when it comes to opening the body, finding flexibility and creating space inside your body. Take 5 more breaths. Be conscious of each breath, where it moves to, how it feels. The best is if you don't, Emma, so you don't actually want to grab your foot. It's more like, just relax. You might even feel like you're falling back a little bit, but you just keep relaxing and get more and more into it. And that applies especially for the next one. Come on up. Get your right foot out to the right. There's a way of moving slightly deeper into this. Excuse me, before we go right foot out to the right, let's just keep things nice and balanced. Squeeze the right thigh into your body. And sit up nice and tall. And keep trying to sit up a little taller, a tiny bit more. And then twist over to your right. And this can feel really nice and enjoyable. If you want a little bit more, the right foot moves to the left. Left elbow outer right thigh. Use the power of each breath. Slowly unravel to center. A counter twist hopefully will feel awesome in your body. Now, take your legs wide apart. Okay. If you're really tight here, do not worry. Time will open up the body. I was and I still am pretty tight in this space, but after putting in the work, it really does pay off. And this is such this wide-legged straddle position is such an efficient, effective position for our body. You'll get to a point within your yoga practice, but if you aren't practicing this movement, you can kind of get stuck from progressing. If you're after progression. Some nice ways of getting into it a little deeper is to slide the fingers underneath the calves and then bend the fingers, and that takes the feet wider apart. Another way is to actually lift the butt, scooch the butt forward, taking the feet wider. And then props, if you got, they're there, grab them, fold. And if you feel like your lower back or your pelvis is not neutral, if you're falling backwards, you can see here, my tailbone and then my lower back goes outwards. You at least want this neutral position. At least neutral. And if you can't, then you just have to bend your knees a whole lot more. Maybe grab something out in front of you or even the toes with the knees bent. And then you work that kind of fold. And a gentle bounce, it can be effective. Don't be shy of that. But bouncing with length rather than chasing the floor. You got 10 breaths. Fold forward. Strength between can also feel wonderful to reach out long. So use that lengthening and strengthening and then find the softness. Breath by breath, there is new space to be found. You got the next 2 minutes to create a release of your body. I'm not going to tell you how to practice, but generally if you're stronger, you're going to be more tight. And if you're stronger, then to create a more balanced experience, take on the effects of letting go or the action of letting go. If you're more flexible over strong, then engage a little bit more here. Pull the toes back, squeeze the pelvic floor. Continue to work this active lifting, engaging the legs. Just wherever you are, close your eyes and take 10 more breaths. Ollie, from here, if you straighten your legs a little bit more, once you hold it for a bit longer, you'll be surprised and going a little bit further. Just a few more breaths. And keep your head relaxed. Walk the fingers back. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. The head would be the last thing to lift up eventually. Feel this unraveling of your spine. Fingers behind you. Flatten the feet to the floor. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower the knees to the left. Bring your right hand to the back side of your body and just take a little push-up. Keep rotating the chest. Hopefully feel like just a wonderful release after that slightly longer hold position to the other side. Find your wall space. You don't have to have one. I think the easiest is actually going to be for you guys to watch me with this angle here. So you'll come about, hips about 30, 40 centimeters away from your wall, or you can see I've gotten a couch here. Just pushing the feet up into the object. You'll find your lower back flat down to the floor. Upper back of the head nice and supported, nice and relaxed. And should feel quite nice if you push the feet down, the palms down, and then just lift your hips up into this bridge-like position. And notice if you don't have a wall space, you could do just a regular bridge or just a regular what's coming next, figure 4. And take the left foot up to the sky, as close to the face as you can get it. Flex the left foot, toes pull back, and then place your left ankle on your right thigh as you sink your hips back down to the floor. Okay, some of you might be quite flexible. Walk a bit closer to the wall if that's the case. Or scoot your butt a little closer to the wall if that's the case. And then it should feel really nice. So pull your pinky toe back towards your shin, straight back towards your shin. That creates a dorsal flexion to other way B. Yeah, and now energetically push the knee closer to the wall. And check your pants or your hips. Your right hip's probably going to be forward in front of your left. Can you keep your hips completely level? It can actually feel quite nice to push onto the thighs. Externally rotating the left thigh a little bit more. If you want to feel some more, potentially, you can even interlace around the right shin. Really squeeze that right knee in. Keep the left moving away. But I'm sure the wall, to be honest, the walls just can feel so lovely. It's not really that necessary to find more. Should feel wonderful if you just allow your body to stay in this position, but add a twist, both legs and knees moving to the right. Your right hand lands in the outer left knee and your left arm reaches overhead. And breathe fully in and out of your body again. Return to center, feet into the wall, hips up to the sky. Right toes rise, left and back. Ankle to thigh. We already start with the flexion. Look at that angle of the foot. It's like pinky toe. Can you touch your pinky toe to your shin? And just hold so much more support around your ankle, so you don't stretch your ankle. You hold more support around your knee, so you don't pivot your knee. And then the stretch happens where it's meant to happen, which is the outer hip. You might even feel that tight bit in the outer glute kind of region. Again, first things first, try and get your tailbone to neutralize. So if your tailbone is lifted, your first step is to just try to push it down, and that might mean moving further away from the wall if you can't get it down. Closer if you want more. If you did it before, you can interlace your fingers around the left shin. It's more intense. If you want less intensity, left hamstring. It's the back of your left leg. Relax your head down, kind of. There we go. So much better, right? Wherever you are, the knees lowered to the left, right arm reaches overhead. Maybe you can scooch a little more space between your vertebrae and your spine. Take another breath. Return to center. Any little movements you want to take with your legs and your body. I would recommend a little legs up the wall. Finishing final little posture here, just legs up. Relaxing. Maybe blanket around your body or pillow underneath, just a low pillow underneath the head. Alternatively, if you want some spice in your relaxation, make sure it's not intensity, because that's not what we're trying to find. But it can feel quite nice also to just wide leg relax. But only if you know that you can really relax. Sometimes it can be hard to let go, especially if there's intensity. Constantina, if you want, I would really recommend using the wall for support, so you don't have to hold the legs up at all. But if you enjoy letting the legs dangle and it helps you relax, then stay there. There's no right or wrong in any of these positions or this position for now. Just how much relaxation can you create so your body can do its magical thing and heal and repair, build new cells. Let the breath flow completely naturally. And let the body be completely soft and relaxed. And just for a moment, see if you can be completely still. This is something that I really used to struggle with, and even the idea of why should I be still? What's the point? With the mind, it's constantly seeking to be entertained. It's looking for stimuli. And it's one of the most powerful things to be entertained by the natural ongoings and systems of your body. By the flow of your breath, the beating of your heart, the pulsing of blood all the way to the fingers and the toes. I want you to just take 10 more breaths. As you breathe these 10 breaths with complete relaxation, stillness, how much can you enjoy each one? How much gratitude can you tap into for the sensations, for just the simple act of breathing in and out? And this practice becomes a somewhat sacred practice. And you're really on your own time. So as you finish up and you're ready, and bear in mind, you might want to just switch off the camera, lie down, and close your eyes and practice relaxation for longer. I don't mind. But there's also something really powerful of feeling a part of something. And you can get that by coming up to a comfortable seat where we can close off the practice together. But there's no rush at all. So stay aware of your breath as you move. Stay aware of each sensation in your body as you move. You can take these little conscious practices and apply them to your everyday life, your every breath, and your every movement. Sit up nice and tall. Hold yourself with a sense of pride and confidence. And finishing off with so much gratitude from you to you for making this time for yourself, your mind, your body, your heart. Thank you guys so much for your support and for joining me. Namaste. Any questions? Fire them away. Otherwise, I wish you guys all a magnificent week.